morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Legacy government organizes workshop to boost job descriptions, performance targets of ministries, departments, agencies. Nigeria commiserates with India over tragic plane crash. And Florentine, Israeli military launches airstrikes on Iranian nuclear base. And in Sports English Premier League club, Tottenham Hotspur appoint Thomas Frank as new manager. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Lagos State Office of Transformation, Creativity and Innovation, OTCI, has concluded a crucial workshop designed to empower ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, in crafting effective job descriptions and setting clear performance targets. Director General of OTCI, Toyin Andrews Ademuyiwa, said the strategic workshop aims to enhance role clarity and ultimately elevate organizational performance across the state. Andrews Ademuyiwa, who was represented by the Director of Reforms, Jimmy Otunui, stated that the training is meant to increase participants' understanding of the relevance of job descriptions and performance targets in their official duties and roles. She said during the sessions, participants delved into the significance of well-defined job descriptions as fundamental instruments for robust performance management. In order to spotlight indigenous fashion and textiles on a global stage, the Lagos State government has hosted a high-level meeting with founder of African Fashion Week London and Nigeria, Queen Ronke Ademiluyi Ogunwusi, alongside the British Deputy High Commissioner, Johnny Baxter. Commissioner for Tourism, Art and Culture, Toke Benton Awinka, explained that the strategic engagement focused on advancing the cultural and economic potential of Adire textiles, an iconic Yoruba fabric, as a major export and symbol of Nigeria's rich heritage. Benton Awinka reaffirmed Lagos State's unwavering support for creative platforms that empower designers, preserve cultural identity, and contributes meaningfully to the state economy. She emphasized that such partnerships are vital in amplifying African narratives and positioning Lagos as the heartbeat of fashion and creativity on the continent. The commissioner described the meeting as a major step forward in promoting Adire and African fashion globally, while also underscoring Lagos State's commitment to cultural preservation and creative industry growth. Meanwhile, the meeting also featured discussions on the celebration of the 15th edition of Africa Fashion Week London, a milestone achievement for the global African fashion movement. Following the adoption of a harmonized academic calendar by key stakeholders in the education sector in Lagos State, the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Jamiu Ali Balogun, has expressed optimism that an approved academic calendar will be ready in 2 weeks. Ali Balogun made this known while speaking at the final stakeholders meeting on the year 2025-2026 harmonized academic calendar held at the Education Resource Center in Ojodu. The meeting, convened by the Office of Education Quality Assurance, marked the final stage in the process of harmonizing the academic calendar for the 2025-26 school year, pending the official release by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. While appreciating stakeholders for their dedication and collaboration with the state government in improving education standards, the Commissioner emphasized the need for continued synergy and mutual understanding. Ali Balogun urged stakeholders to make deliberate, thoughtful decisions when finalizing the calendar, aligning with the present administration's vision for a robust education sector. Nigeria remains a shining example of a nation upholding the tenet of democracy for 26 unbroken years. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, who stated this at a Democracy Day lecture at the State House in Abuja, said this is despite the many military takeovers in West Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. Akume said in the last 5 years, West and Central Africa have recorded over 10 coup attempts since the August 2020 military takeover in Mali. According to him, Nigeria owes the heroes of democracy a debt of gratitude for having endured the brutality of military officers, the imprisonment, the humiliation, and even for paying the supreme price. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has extended its heartfelt condolences to the government and people of India over the tragic crash of Air India flights, which killed over 200 people in Ahmedabad on Thursday. Spokesperson, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kemebi Ebienfa, stated that the Nigeria High Commissioner in New Delhi remained in close contact with Indian authorities to verify information and provide consular assistance where necessary. Ebienfa reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to global aviation safety and supports the call for thorough investigation into the crash with a view to preventing such tragedies in the future. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has nominated 12 new commissioners for the state. This was unveiled in a statement signed by the governor's spokesperson, Ebenezer Adenio. Adenio said the governor requested the state lawmakers to take expeditious action on his request. The list includes Professor of Agricultural Economics Igbekele Ajigbefun, who was formerly rector of the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic and vice chancellor of Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba, Akoku, Ayorinde Olawoye, Ayodele Akonde, Alabi Johnson, Amidu Takuro, among others. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has congratulated elder statesman and publisher of Vanguard newspaper Sam Amuka on his 90th birthday. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in a statement issued by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Gboyega Akosile, described Amuka as one of the celebrated journalists, columnists, editors, and publishers in the Nigerian media industry. He said Amuka, who clocks 90 today, deserves all the commendation for the numerous roles he has played in the development and growth of the pen profession, as well as his positive contributions towards job creation and economic empowerment of thousands of journalists in Nigeria. And in some foreign news, the Israeli military has carried out several waves of airstrikes targeting nuclear facilities and military sites across Iran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the strikes were aimed at hunting Iran's nuclear infrastructure and ballistic missile factories, stressing that the operation will take as long as is needed to complete the task of fending off the threat of annihilation against the country. Netanyahu confirmed that Israel had launched an aerial campaign against Iran's nuclear program in an operation dubbed Nations of Lions. And also speaking, the Israeli military chief of staff, Eyal Zamir, said Iran's nuclear program had reached a point of no return and could not wait for another moment to act in the fight to preserve the country's existence. And over to sports news, Europa League champions Tottenham Hotspur has appointed Brentford coach Frank Thomas as the new manager. Thomas, who joined Spurs from Brentford, replaces Ange Postecoglou. The club announced that the contract will run until 2028. Thomas has extensive experience in English football, having joined Brentford in 2016, becoming one of the longest serving current managers in the Premier League. During his time at Brentford, he transformed the club, moving the team up from the Championship to an established Premier League side, consistently and significantly outperforming expectations for an extended period of time. That was our news at 10. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. I can also visit our website, www.trafficradio.com 961.ng. You can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration initiated the Lagos State Employability Support Project to address the labor skill gap and unemployment problems? Well, you can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Office of Transformation, Creativity and Innovation, OTCI, has concluded a crucial workshop designed to empower ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, in crafting effective job descriptions and setting clear performance targets. The federal government has extended its heartfelt condolences to the government and people of India over the tragic crash of Air India flight which killed over 200 people in Ahmedabad on Thursday. We also told you that the Israeli military has carried out several waves of airstrikes targeting nuclear facilities and military sites across Iran. And then in Sports Europe, League champions Tottenham Hotspur has appointed Brentford coach Frank Thomas as the new manager. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Mojid Ololade. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Good morning to you.